So we have a number of partnerships, either with companies that have technologies that are synergistic with IQ3. So one of our partners is 3D at Depth that has LiDAR, undersea LiDAR technology, and what they are able to capture is these undersea oil drilling structures that companies have deployed. And because of the large amount of data, they needed a platform, and their customers can use IQ3 to collaboratively assess the condition of their assets, which would be extremely difficult without either technology. So that is one example. Ozone Engineering is a reseller partner, and they have been in the simulation space for almost 2 decades. And they bring a lot of technical expertise, as well as companies. They work with companies that fit the kind of companies that can benefit and use our technology. So they're a software partner. We started IQ3. We got in our initial meetings with companies, people got very excited. And there was an initial wow factor, which then dies off, and then the question was, well, how am I going to benefit from this? What's the business case? Where's the ROI? And so we have been very fortunate to develop relationships with early customers and really understand their business needs and problems, and shape our technology to actually solve those real engineering problems. So in the early days of IQ3, we were focused more on the technology. So we built a very good technology platform. But then we started working more closely with companies with real business problems, and we are now addressing how to bring IQ3 into their business processes and to solve real engineering problems so that they can see the ROI. One of the advantages of using IQ3 is the supplier collaboration. So we are already seeing a tremendous interest in OEMs and their suppliers, because the suppliers have to interface with the OEMs, and so at the end of the day, if that communication, those communication barriers can be reduced, then there's a huge cost savings on both sides. So we're seeing interest from the tier 1 suppliers, for example, that are building factories or supplying various components to the automotive companies that are interested in VR collaborative technologies like IQ3 to streamline that process of working with the OEMs. Yes, so we have, because of the performance of the IQ3 platform, we have interest in data visualization, and in some cases we have had some interaction with visualizing molecules and so on for the pharmaceutical. But one area of interest that is not in the manufacturing space is business data visualization. And so you can generate a lot of data. Maybe that's from Salesforce, or from training, or from other Internet of Things. And you need to have a large canvas. A 3D canvas is the best way to visualize these large data sets. And the advantage that IQ3 brings is the ability to do this in a collaborative way, collaborative manner. So we can bring in very large data set into IQ3 and let participants essentially analyze that data freely in this 3D space. So that is a non-manufacturing application of our technology. So one example is an automotive company where they would rely, or even a company that manufactures machines, and they'll rely on building physical prototypes to assess certain problems, like can I reach a particular part, or can I fit some part into this very complex area where there are other components, and how am I going to access it? And those things they would rely on building physical prototypes or use other means that have in the past resulted in costly errors. And so that is a very specific case where they were able to use IQ3 to solve that problem, up front before they commit to manufacturing. And they're able to do this in a collaborative space. It's not just one engineer, but they can bring the relevant engineers or even their suppliers and their customers to engage to solve the problem.